Let's do a mid-year planner check-in. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new, my name is Tracy and I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. So what I have in front of me is my June 2026 planner lineup. I have to specify June 2026 because I've been making some changes. I made some changes in May. I have made a few changes, I think, at the end of May. So this isn't technically my true second quarter planner lineup. It's the one that I'm currently in right now. And there will be some more changes, some that are more out of necessity because the planner is running out. But there may be a planner or two that I drop. And I also want to chat a little bit about a few of my journals as well. So with that said, let's go ahead and start talking about these planners. All right, now I'm not going to go in depth about all of these planners because now that we are at the midway point of the year, almost at the midway point, most of these have been featured on my channel at some point. So if you are a returning viewer, then you have a good idea of how I use these planners. But I will kind of give a brief kind of overview for those of you that may be new. So this is a Hemlock and Oak B5 Minimalist Vertical Planner. It is called a minimalist because the Hemlock and Oak planners have a lot of goal setting and reflections and stuff like that at the beginning of the book, but the minimalist does not have that. So if that's something that you don't want, then look for the minimalist planners. This is my first year using this particular planner with this particular layout, and I absolutely love it. Like I said, I say that probably every month that I go to set this planner up. I am actually surprised by how much I love this. In 2025, I actually used two planners as a catch-all planner. I used a daily planner and then I used a weekly planner. And I thought I needed both, but I don't. This works very, very well to capture everything that I need. So when I talk about everything that I need, I put in here my to-dos. I do put my work to-dos in here, even though I have a work notebook. I don't have an actual work planner. I just kind of incorporate it here. I also put my everyday to-dos in here. I put anything that is, date specific, like appointments, birthdays, and stuff like that in here as well. Plus I also have other like weekly to-dos in here as well. Obviously this week I didn't do a very good job of updating this, but for the most part, aside from a week or two, this has been the one planner that I have been consistent with since January. I have been so consistent with it. It has worked really well. It's kept me on track. I've really enjoyed decorating it. I have been able to decorate it, which I wasn't sure of considering a lot of the things that I need to keep in here. But yeah, I've enjoyed using this planner. I do not foresee myself changing this planner this year at all, and I like it so much that I actually ordered another Hemlock and Oak to potentially use next year. Now, the one that I ordered is a 2026 because, your girl likes a good discount. And they had one that had a little bit of damage on the cover, so I got it for like $18. Because I was like, I really enjoyed using this. I haven't gotten bored with it, which is really surprising because I am a planner hopper. So yeah, I got it because I figured worst case scenario, if I didn't want to use it, this would also make like a good memory keeping journal or for some other purposes, just because it's very, very clean. It's very, very clean. It's high quality paper and things like that. So yeah, this one is staying in my lineup. So you will continue to see this on my channel. If you're more curious about how I use this, you can check the monthly calendar setups as well as my weekly resets playlist, because I do feature this in both of those videos. I just love this planner. There's really nothing else to say. Okay, the next planner that we will talk about is a planner, that I absolutely love, but have been inconsistent with, and it has nothing to do with the planner itself. This is my fitness and wellness tracker. I have been using a Passion Planner daily for fitness and wellness tracking since June of 2025. I purchased quite a few of these during their 2025 Pi Day sale. So they were $3.14. And I've purchased several more during their 2026 Pi Day sale because that's how much I love it. It is the one planner that I have found that works the best for me when it comes to fitness and wellness tracking. I have been dealing with some like back pain and stuff like that, so I haven't been doing as much fitness, but you can still see when I track all of my like stats and stuff that come from my ring. This is a ring con. I also keep track of stuff on my Apple Watch. It can fill up, so I actually find that I do need most days the 2-page dailies. With that said, because I have been super busy. I have been under the weather. I've been dealing with back pain. I just have not been consistent when it comes to health and wellness in general. Therefore, I have not been consistently filling out this planner. But that doesn't mean I'm going to abandon it. The only decision I have to make is this is a quarterly planner, which means I will be due to step into a new one come July 1, but this one is not going to be full. It's probably going to still have a half month to a full month's worth of pages left. So I need to decide whether or not to just continue this one until it fills in, or do I go ahead and move into another planner, because at some point one of them is not going to be full. Like either the fourth quarter planner that I start or this one. So I have to make that decision. But like I said, I have them ready to go. I'm going to continue on with this. I'm hoping to be very consistent with the second half of the year. Health and wellness tracking is something that is very, very important to me. It is a priority. Like I'm really that's the one thing I'm disappointed about, is like how much I've fallen off on the tracking of the things. But I'm hoping to get back into it. So we'll see whether or not I just continue this until it fills up or I start a new one. This is the supplement to this Passion Planner Daily. This is just a dot grid notebook. The Passion Planner Daily only has monthly calendars and daily pages. And when I'm tracking my stats and stuff like that, it's hard to see trends when you're just looking at daily pages. So I wanted to summarize things in a monthly view, so that way I can kind of, gauge kind of what's going on with my health and stuff like that. The fact is I haven't been super consistent with it. Spoiler, I'm not spoiler. I'm sure you're kind of surprised by that, right? Not. But like, this is kind of how I meant by like writing in my sleep scores, my stress numbers, my symptom trackers and stuff like that, just so I can see it all in one place. I kind of fell off in February. I set it up for March, didn't do March, but I fell off in February, and then I just kind of abandoned it in the second quarter altogether. With the exception of my metrics. So I do keep track of my weight and measurements and things of that nature. I am going to hopefully once again make this a priority. So I'll just be utilizing this more, hopefully in the second half of the year. I'm just going to continue on, which, should be fine, because actually I'll probably, fill up the book if I'm actually consistent with it. So I will probably at some point do a setup video for this, maybe like end of June, setting it up for July, so you can kind of see what I mean as far as setups go. Plus, I think the things I'm going to track in here may be a little bit different than what I had started tracking at the beginning of the year. I think I'm going to keep it pretty basic and simple. These are both going to be in my lineup for the second half of the year, even though I was inconsistent with the first half. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm rambling for some reason. The next planner I'm going to talk about is a Franken planner. So there's actually 2 planners in here. The first one is the MakesLife. So I decided in May to take my MakesLife, take it off the spiral, and disc punch it. And the reason why I actually have my MakesLife, the cover fell off because I was thinking about cutting the cover, is this is a thick planner. This is a really, really thick planner. It's just too thick. It's too thick for the single purpose that I was using it for, which was the goal setting. At the beginning of the year, I did try to use these pages for creative project planning. But again, it's just a super thick planner. I felt like I was forcing myself to use it for that reason. It really wasn't working for that reason. So in May, I decided, you know what, we're just going to use this for the weekly actions and like the monthly goals, and that's it. Which is why I decided it would be best to Frankenplan it into a disc system where, again, it takes up a little bit less real estate. And I can Frankenplan it with another planner that I will be in more frequently than obviously this one. So yeah, I still use this. This is what I love. If I didn't have the MakesLife, I would probably just recreate this on a notes page, because this is something that I never knew I needed. Now, not that these areas of my life are always the most important areas of my life, but now that I've started doing this, I do think this is something that I'm going to kind of think about every month, is think about the areas of my life that I want to focus on. And then every single week, think about what I need to do in each of those areas of my life. That takes it beyond just goals and just kind of everyday to-dos. But I find that if I don't do this, sometimes I neglect certain aspects of my life. So yeah, that's why, long story short, that's why I decided to take this off of the coils and put it on a disc, because it's just too big. I mean, look at that coil. It's just too big. So yeah, I did that. After I put it on disc, I loved it again. And I thought about buying the 2026 planner when it was on sale for $29. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. I can recreate this myself next year. So definitely be on the lookout for that. But I think for the remainder of the year, I'm going to just go ahead, take all of this off the disc. Take this off the coils and put it on disc, and then just go from there. The other planner that is in here is the Erin Condren Daily Duo. Here's the Daily Duo right here. This I pulled because I had used January through April last year in 2025 for fitness and wellness planning. And then I did not use it for May and June. So I decided that instead of recycling the planner with 2 blank months in it, let's go ahead and use those last 2 blank months, and let's use it for a combination of creative project planning and social media planning. And I did that for the month of May. I'm just getting back from vacation in June, so I haven't done too much in June. Because there's daily pages, I don't really need to write that much. But basically, the way I use this planner, for like social media, I'll just write down if I need to film a video or if there's some like new release or something that I need to post about. A lot of the writing on here has to do with creative project planning. So if I know I need to do a memory keeping spread, then I'll write down print photos or order photos from Walmart for the week of this and this, so that way I can go ahead and do that and have it ready to do my memory keeping project. The other thing that I did as far as creative projects is I'll maybe like plan out maybe the sticker books I want to use or something like that. Or if I have an idea for a creative journaling spread, I can kind of jot that down. So basically I could use note pages for this, but again, I had 2 empty months left in a planner, and I am about using all of the things and filling it up before I recycle it. So that is the reason why I use the Erin Condren for that purpose. Obviously, it was not the ideal layout for that particular purpose, but it worked for the 6 weeks or the 6 weeks that I'm going to have to use it, because I was gone for 2 weeks in June. But I will be changing that up. So for social media and project planning, I'm going to be using these 2 planners. This one is another half-use planner. This is the KellofaPlan Dashboard Planner from 2025. I used it all the way up until the end of June last year. I didn't even use it all the way in June, but I did use it somewhat in June. This was my catch-all planner, my weekly catch-all last year. I set it up for July and then never used it. I decided to change gears at that point, but that means now I have 6 months left that I can use it for this year. So this is going to be, like I said, my combo social media project planning. So I think I can track like any daily to-dos here, mostly for social media. Like if I need to film a video, if I need to put out something related to like a PR team that I'm on or something like that, I'll just write that here. And then over here is where I can kind of map out my creative projects for the week. Plus, with there being a dashboard, the other advantage to this is if I need to insert a half sheet or a full sheet for additional notes, I can easily do that. Now, I am going to Franken-plan it with this, which is the Happy Planner monthly layout. I've had this planner for like 3 or 4 years now. I got it from Hobby Lobby when they were clearancing out their planners. I used this for social media last year in conjunction with just random layouts. I change that quite frequently. But I do like using this for social media because I can kind of map out like overall monthly to-dos here, and then I just use these as note pages. So that's how I'm going to use it. So I'm going to Franken-plan this in the front and then this behind it. I probably will be doing a planner setup as far as like a Franken-planner setup for the month of July. And I may even do a plan with me with this one. So you can kind of see how I'm going to use it. While, you know, you may not be interested in the social media side, you might be interested in the creative project side of it. So I probably will do at least one plan with me, sharing with you how I'm going to use it. But yeah, this is the one change, but it had to happen because I didn't have another month left for social media. But there we go. And I do just want to mention, in case you didn't catch like my second quarterly update for my planners, I did start the year in a bullet journal for social media. That did not work. I love bullet journals. I love journals. I love decorating the journals. I like being creative in the journals. I do not like using bullet journals for planners. I just do not. I did not even enjoy the decorating of it. Definitely did not enjoy using it. So yeah, I used that for like the first 2 months, and then I abandoned that in March. And that's when I kind of started trying different planners out that was on my shelf for social media. I can usually make a lot work when it comes to social media planners. But this is probably going to be a good fit. I did purchase a Live Love Posh planner insert that would also work very well. But it's a full year, so I figured that might be a 2027 option. I just want to go ahead and use this because there's only a half year left. So again, trying to use up all of the things. And finally, well, actually not finally, almost finally, guys, almost finally. We have this guy. This is my Hemlock and Oak daily planner. So I did take this apart. I took this apart in the second quarter because I wasn't using it. I was not using it. I wanted to use my Hemlock and Oak daily to capture what I did every day. So my planner captures what I want to do. This captures what I did. I just wasn't using it, and I figured I would do a little experiment and see if I put it on disc, if it would increase the chances that I would use it. Now, it could just be a coincidence, but I have been using it a lot more since it's been on disc. Like I said, the reason why I think I struggle somewhat with this is when it's a bound book, again, you have to keep it open. So it takes up a lot of real estate on the desk, which means you aren't always able to keep it open. And if I'm not able to have it open, I'm less likely to use it. So for this, I can just do like that, keep it open, and then jot down things as they happen, or the next morning, jot down everything that happened the day before. So yeah, I've even went ahead and put the rest of the Hemlock and Oak on disc for the remainder of 2026. So this is now ready to go. I did film a video where I showed you how I cut down an Erin Condren soft coil bound cover. I just cut the coils off and then disc punched it, and it fit perfectly. The Hemlock and Oak daily planner is not a 7x9. It's a little bit larger than a junior size. So it's kind of like its own unique size, but this cover worked pretty well. So yeah, I'm going to continue using this. I will say, in all honesty and transparency, I am not 7 for 7 as in using it every single day of the week. I'm usually about 5 for 7, meaning Saturdays and Sundays I usually do not come in here and use this. This is something that I'm more likely to use on my work days. But you know, at this point, going from like 1 of 7 or 0 of 7, I will take 5 of 7 days each week using this. But yeah, I like the way this planner looks. I like the paper. I like the cleanliness of it. I think this is a planner that I could use for multiple purposes. But this year, I've really wanted to focus on memory keeping and things of that nature. So that is the reason why this is something that even though it wasn't working, I just kept trying and trying. And for the past month and a half, I've been doing like I said, fairly well. So I will take that as a win. I hope I continue staying on that same kind of winning streak as far as using this planner for like the remainder of the year. And it's something that I definitely want to continue in the future as far as doing this type of like capturing what I did each day, in whether or not it be this planner, which I do have another one of, or another format will be perfectly fine as well. So yeah, this one is gonna continue. I'm just rambling, y'all. The one that I'm not 100% sure about is this guy. This is a Archer and Olive A5 O-ring planner. First of all, I love the size. I actually really like the O-rings. I also have a B5 in O-rings. Not sure about that one. That might be too big. But the A5 with the O-rings, I actually really like. I bought, I think, like 4 of these planners, like 2 B5s and 2 A5s, because it's 2 different covers, this and the Songbird, when I got these for $5. So I figured because I purchased quite a few that I needed to go ahead and use one as soon as I got it. The problem is I really don't have a purpose for it. For the past month, I've been kind of writing my daily wins or like glimmers, you know, like positive things in here. But I just finished doing a Dutch door creative journal that now I can write in, and I'm not sure that I need to do both. So this one may be paused because, like I said, I just wanted to use it, so I just started using it. It really didn't have much of a purpose. But who knows? Maybe I would prefer to journal in here versus an actual journal. So I'm not going to pause it completely. This is kind of to be determined. You can kind of see. I don't use the notes section, so I should just use that for decorations. But yeah, there we go. So this is kind of just an extra planner that I was using as a journal. I think it's really, really pretty. If I stopped using it, it would go on my shelf to be reused later, because this is definitely something that could be repurposed for memory keeping or anything of that nature as well. Plus this cover is just stunning. So yeah, this was one I just added to my lineup in the second quarter because it was new and I wanted to use it. But it really had no purpose then, and it hasn't really no purpose now. So we'll see if this one stays. Like I said, tentatively it's still for like wins of the day or daily glimmers, which are like positive things that happen. But we'll see if it stays. I think that's it for my planners. I do want to quickly talk about 2 journals. Now I have a lot of journals, but for the most part, my journals are all kind of used on an as needed basis or intermittently. I have like a reading journal, but my reading journal is used when I set it up and then when I update it. So like twice a month. I have a currently journal, same thing, when I set it up and then when I update it. These are the journals that require a lot more time. And I have now realized why a lot of the content creators that I love that do a lot of the daily, like the memory keeping type journaling, like week in the life, day in the life, whatever, why they fall so far behind, and why like in June I'm watching videos from like January. They're doing their January spreads. Because y'all, once you fall behind in this stuff, it is impossible to catch up. I shouldn't say impossible. It's just really hard to catch up. Both of these I have fallen so far behind on. Let's talk about this one because this one has been on my channel a lot more. This is my project planner. And y'all, look at that thing. That thing is like chunky. I haven't filled this out yet. I've only made it to May, which is only June, so that's a good thing. But basically, I wanted to have a different kind of project each and every month. And it all ties to memory keeping. So for January, I did like a letter to myself. I did bucket list and stuff like that. Like my bucket list, I definitely have not filled out. I did a vision board. Here's like the bucket list. So like I can definitely like fill in some of these things that I did. So what I wanted to do was put a photo or like do some kind of like stickers or something to kind of say that that is done. So yeah, I want to go ahead and fill that in. For the month of February, I did February favorites. I still haven't finished that either. I have some things in here. Like I have some photos. I have that in here, but I still need to work on that. March was A to Z. That one, I did like H for hair. I don't know what that is. I did nails, makeup, purses, shoes. I was just kind of do things about myself, but like that kind of letters of the alphabet. And I have ideas for other ones. Like I have tattoos, so I'll take some photos of my tattoos and stuff like that. And I haven't even gotten around to doing that. So I want to finish that project up. Then for the month of April, this was going to be like my spring kind of memories. So this was supposed to be my spring bucket list. I never even filled that out. I do have some photos in here, but then I need to figure some other things out and put that in here. And then this was my week in the life that I haven't even finished yet. I have stuff sitting in here ready to go in the pages, but I need to finish that up. So needless to say, I've set all this up. I have things in here ready to go in the pages, and I have not completed it. So I will not be taking on any new projects until the fall as far as this project journal goes. My hope is by that point, I would have filled in or completed all of the pages. For week in the life, I did set up all of the pages. So everything has been set up and decorated. I just haven't actually added any of the photos. At this point, I don't even think I printed all of the photos. So yeah, I got to do that. And I think I may just do like one more project this year. With that said, the projects that I did, I actually enjoyed doing all of them, and I wouldn't mind repeating them next year. But it would be like a once every other month type project or every 3 months project, because they were really fun projects, and I think it's something that I could repeat every year, just to see how things change. And then finally, as far as like journals, planners, this is the last thing I'm going to talk about. This is a hemlock and oak horizontal layout. This one has not made an appearance on my channel since I think the first week of the year. But I love this layout because it's Monday through Sunday over here and then a blank page over here. And I thought this would be a great place to do memory keeping. So when I was talking about like my Hemlock and Oak Daily, where I record the things that I've done in the day, that is to help me here. And I wanted to like junk journal and add pictures on this side and then just do written memories over here. In here, I did okay. Whew. The first few months, I did somewhat okay. In March, half. April, I stopped. There are photos sitting in some of the pages. I thought there was photos sitting in some of the pages. Like I have some photos here, photo here that I need to put in here, but you can see I did absolutely nothing. So some of that's going to be a struggle, especially when I was inconsistent in March and April and some of my memory keeping, my daily memory keeper. But for May, I should be fine. But this I'm going to keep going with. I just want to catch it up and hopefully stay on top of it. I did learn that I'm still not good about taking photos every single day. So I need to get better with that because this is definitely a project I would want to do year after year. I think it's a great project. I don't have to do it in this particular like journal. I like this journal, but I could probably recreate this in a bullet journal because I can just do 2-page spread for every week. And then I can divide like a weekly side, however I want to divide it, whether it be like boxes, like squares, or like the horizontal. And then I do like to have a blank page to kind of like junk journal, like receipts, movie tickets, photos, or whatever on the other side. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to bring this up because I haven't been good with it and I want to be transparent because it's just funny to me. I thought it was going to be easy to stay on top of this because it's simple. But yeah, you get behind 1 week and the next thing you know, you're behind 6 weeks. So that's kind of how it goes. But there we go, guys. That is kind of where I stand with my planners and my frequent journals, the journals that are kind of more time consuming. I kind of wanted to give you an update there. So there's just going to be one change. That's my social media project planner. Other than that, everything else is staying pretty much the same. The exception is now I have a few planners on disc that I didn't have at the beginning of the year, most of which I'm turning from other formats into disc. So yeah, that's the one change. But other than that, there hasn't been major changes. So I'm happy with that. All right, guys. So there we go. If you enjoyed this video, press that like button. And if you have yet to subscribe, I hope you would also consider subscribing. That is all I have for now. I hope you have a good rest of your day, evening, or night. Until next time, bye.